Hello everybody and welcome. I am going to make a grapevine wreath for you today. I got these really nice signs from Craft Outlet. So I have a couple of these so I can make a couple of these wreaths. So we're using a 14-inch grapevine today and then we're going to build this out. So first I want to go ahead and I'm going to put my ficus leaves on, then I'm going to put my sign on, and then we're going to build around it. So I hope everyone is doing well today. If you are anywhere in the United States today, you're probably getting the cold weather. We have ice. So I'm cutting all of these down. This one was one that was already used. Part of it was, so I'm going to take the pieces off that were left, and then we'll use a full bush or branch here. But I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut the arms off, and then we'll use those. We'll use them in smaller pieces. So here's our top and our bottom. We're going to go in this direction here. So I want to put this one down here. So our sign is going to go like this and cover up that space in the middle. So this is going to come down here like this and help make it a little bit longer. Trying to see how long I want to make it first. I need to just put the sign on and build it around that. I'm going to go ahead and put the sign on first. Change of plans. I was going to wait, but I'm not going to. I'm using I believe it's a 22 gauge. It is 22 gauge silver wire. So it's a little bit thicker. And I do that because this sign's a heavier gauge than what your normal aluminum signs are that you get from the sign makers. And it's a 12-inch sign also. So it's bigger. I like to typically work with a 10-inch sign. I forgot to take my sticker off of the back. So I just give it a couple of twists to hold it on there. Make sure it doesn't come undone. Let me see if I can pull this sticker off without any issues. Okay, let's make sure we're in the right spot. I'm going to get my weaving needles. You can get these in my shop at wreath-decorbydawn.com. They'll also be linked in the comments. Just square these up here. Or in the description, not the comments. Alright, so I'm going to take one at a time, and I'm going to go through the grapevine itself. I am not going to go around it. So I want this right here. I'm going to go down through this part of the grapevine, right there. Take that wire, gets caught up on the grapevine there. There we go. So there's one. Just pull it down. Then this one, we're going to go a little bit further over through the grapevine. So we'll go right down here. So there's a little bit of space. I don't want to go through the same hole. I want to be able to tie it around some of those grapevine pieces. So once we get that into place, take off my needle, we'll flip it over, and you can see we ended up in the same place. No, they didn't. Just looks like they did, but I am going to move this wire around to this side because I want some thicker branches for it to hold on to. I don't want it to pull the branch and break it. So we got that one there and this one here. So So I'm going to give these a twist a couple of times. 3 times, and now we'll flip it over and we'll get the top going. Let me make sure it's in the right position here. Take our needle, and then we'll take our 1 wire here. And because the weather's so unpredictable, I just keep looking to make sure we're still on. Alright, so there's that one. This wire's thicker, so I gotta sometimes maneuver it around the branches. Alright, and then we're going to take this one and we're going to go a little bit further over here in the center of the wreath frame. Pull this down. Let me use my pliers so I don't get stabbed. There we go. Alright, so now we can flip it. And let's make sure our wires are pulled, and then we can twist. Alright, so there we go. So there's our sign on there. Alright, now we can go ahead and I can see how I want to cut these. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut them all down how I originally thought I would. And we'll just put these in. We can always take a longer one and put it down here. Actually, I'm going to go this way with it. So I've got my glue going over here in my glue pot. And I'm just going to start creating my outline. So I don't want a ton of glue. I want enough that it'll hold it when I put it in here. So I'm going to go right down in here, in between, in the middle. And I'm going to pop that right in there. And then there's my length there. And then I'm going to do one up here. I'm just looking to see where I want to put it. I might go a little bit higher, like right here. And then we're going to fill in all of that. That leaves a nice chunk there. So I think that's what I'm going to do. You want to go in at an angle so that your glue does not go out the back side. There we go. So that's where, those are our lines that we're creating. Now we're just going to take these and fill them in. I want them kind of close together. Get this out of the way. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to zoom you guys in so you can see better. Right there. How's that? Put a little bit of glue on that. There. Let's see what we got. Alright, and then we're going to put this one in. And like I said, we might cut another one up and add to it, but for now, let's go with this one because we are going to add in some other greens. I want this one to go right in here. Fill in that spot. Need one to fill in here. So we'll use this little one. Right in there. And we have 2 other little ones here that we can add in. Fill in some of these spaces. So I have this fern here that I thought we would use. as well. So I might use this one instead. Get this plastic off of it. I kind of like these better. And these are pushers. You can push them up. Yeah, I think we'll use these instead. So I'm going to cut these off. So there's 6 stems on this one. And you can spread these out so that they're not just all clumped up together. And this came from the wholesaler, so... So I'm going to cut this down a little bit. We don't need these as long. And I think we're going to use these to fill in. Again, you want to go in at an angle so that you're not going all the way through your grapevine. Really don't need your stems that long, especially if you have a good grapevine that has got some thick branches on it. Cut this down a little more. All right, let's get the other one. And these come with quite a few stems on them. So we've got 12 stems on that one bush. That's a great bush. I like the little white tips on them too, because you can use them for just about any season. That's still too long. I'm not making these very long at all. On the outside there, got some glue on this leaf, so I want to get that off so they don't stick together. There we go. There we go. Get that glue off of there. All right, we've got one more piece. I'm going to put this down in here, right there. There we go. Good. Pull my leaves up here a little bit. Since they're turned around here, I want to fix that. There we go. Why they would be there. Come back this way. There we go. Get that piece off of there. There we go. Alright, so this is what we've got so far. Let's go ahead and make a bow. And then we're going to add in our florals. Okay, for our bow, we're going to use these 3 ribbons. We've got a sage green, we have the white lace with the beige in the center, and then our cross wreath, or ribbon in the beige. So we're going to put the green in between those and make our bow. So I'm going to take my 2.5 inch with the cross. Now I want my tail, I want my crosses to come down, so I'm going to I might drape it. Let's see where we put the bow. I was thinking of putting the bow up top, and this spot will be where I drape it, so it would come right here. Let's do right here, and then we'll have a tail coming down. So this total one here is going to be about 32 inches. So I'm going to cut this at 32. And this is going to be my tail. So I'm going to gather it up here, place that in there. It's about 1 inch, 1.5 inch overhang. Put that down. And now we'll build our bow. So the other end of this is going to go upward. So we're going to do about a 7-inch tail. So about right here. We'll do a 7-inch tail like this. So we have this that comes up. We'll dovetail that. Let me get this out of your way so you can see what I'm doing. And now we're going to take this and we're going to twist it so that the back side is on top. Right here like this. It's a thicker ribbon, so it's going to take a second to get it twisted. There we go. So that's 7 inches. And then we're going to make a 6-inch loop. Right there. I'm going to twist. That. It's a little over 6, so we want to make sure we get the other side about the same. And I think I'm going to do 2 loops of this one. Very pretty ribbon, very thick, good quality. It's got the green backing. Probably need to adjust my green. This one's a little darker. I have another one. Alright, so we got that. We got 2 loops on each side. Let's scrunch that down, fix our loops. And then this one will come down as well. So this will be a 7-inch right there. Alright, let me grab my other green because I want the greens to go together. This one's more of a mossy and this is a sage. Okay, so I grabbed that other, this one matches better with it. So we're going to use this one. So let's spread our tails out. Now if it bothers you that some of these are upside down, then all you need to do is twist your loop one more time. So like this one down here, I can take it go towards the base and twist it one time right there. And now the crosses are going in the right direction. Same with this one. We're going to take it. It's going this way. So we're going to twist this one one time. It's harder with this thicker ribbon. There. So now our crosses are going in the right direction. Okay, so these crosses are looking right. These are right. These are right. They're all going in the right direction. Now if you can make it by hand, you can do that pretty easily. Alright, so I want to take this green one here, and this is going to be draped with that one. So we're going to give it a twist. And we're going to do 2 loops with this one as well. This will be about a 5.5, 5 inch. And like I said, we'll do 2 loops with this one. There we go. And we're going to let that other end go upward. So I want that one up there, this one down here, this one here, here, and then that one will come out. We'll cut it. And then we're going to take this one here. It's a new one. Now this one we will not drape down as far, but I will leave a long tail about half the length because we can curl it. So I'll leave that. Probably doesn't need to be that long. Let's do, we're going to do about 18 inches. So there we go. This is going to be about 4.5 inches. And we're going to do 1 loop. Like that. And this will go up, cut it long. All right, those are done. We're going to take a zip tie. Take 2 of them actually. I only need a short one to go through the grapevine though. And then we'll need a smaller one that's going to be our drape. So I'm going to take my long zip tie. I'm going to go up underneath all of these loops. Make sure I get it right up next to this peg. And then we're going to put that on there. Not too tight, but tight enough that it's going to hold everything for us. I want to grab all of this, including that bottom piece where we left that little inch hanging over for the tail. Grab that on the back. Move your zip tie over into that divot that is left by the bow maker, and then pull your zip tie lock to the back, making sure that none of your loops move. You want to keep them in the right position. Let's go ahead and get it tighter so that we can put our loops where we want them. Here. We have this one that can come up here. We got this one. And we have our green. Keep all those up to the top there. Spread our loops out. This one can go to the side since we already have this down here. So you just want to get everything where you want it. Make sure everything is not cinched up, kinked up, smoothed out before you cinch it down. Once you cinch it down, it'll be harder to move them. So try and get that all done ahead of time. Once you get everything where you want it, let me see if I can get this in here. Trying to move this top ribbon. There, got a kink right there. I'm trying to get it out. All right. So there we go. We're gonna cinch it down after we put our little zip tie. This one's gonna be the one that's gonna hold it onto the wreath frame. So let me get this here in the middle, right there. And now I can put this one through, and that we can tighten this one up. Now yes, I smashed everything, but it's all in the right place, so it'll be easy to bounce back. All right. Those two there. We get this one over here. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and tighten this up some more. I'm going to use my zip tie tool to tighten it up. You'll find that in the description as well. All right, now we've got just the zip tie that's going to put this on the hold this onto the grapevine. So let's get our bow up here where we want it. Now I don't want to cover up too much of my wreath or my sign, so we're going to come out here to the side a little bit, seeing where I want to put this so we don't cover up too much of our sign. So I'm looking for a big chunk of grapevines right about here. If I can move that sign or leaf out of my way. Let's see where it's going so that I can pull it up. Take my pliers in here. I can see the zip tie, so I'm going to try and grab it and pull it up. There it goes. There we go. So we got the zip tie. And find the other part of it. Right here. There it is. All right, let's move all this stuff out of the way. Get this on here. All right, I'm going to slide that over. There we go. Make sure I hear those clicks. And then we can maneuver our bow where we want it once I get it tightened up here. Like that. All right. Let me see how much we're covering that. I don't want to cover it too much. Yeah, that'll work. That will work. All right, so the beige with the white is going to stay out. The green and the cross we're going to waterfall. So I want to leave a nice little loop right there. So I'm going to pull this down right here. We're going to cinch this together right here. Make sure we have that loop. And then right in this empty spot, this is where we're putting our ribbon. So where's my little zip tie? I'm going to put that in there first. So let me get this in here first so I can grab a hold of it. I want to make sure it comes up through here. There it goes right there. All right, let's get our tool, pull that up, grab hold of the end of it, pull that up, right there. We're going to go around that piece of greenery. All right, now we can go back and cinch this. So get those two ribbons together and then cinch them together. So we're just kind of ruffling them up right there. We're going to put this right here. And we're going to tighten that down. There. That nice little loop. I pull this tight. Use our zip tie tool again to cut that off. Helps tighten it and cut it off. And then we've got those draped right there. And then this one we will curl. And then these will, you can always cut them down if need be, but for now we're going to wait. Let me get my greenery back up here. See if I can get my stuff back in the middle here. We're going to put a flower right here in the center to cover up this. Alright, so this one I'm going to roll up to keep it out of the way for the moment. There. Alright, so we won't use this whole bush on this one because we have two signs. I want to keep half of it. So this one has got quite a bit on it, and it's got, each stem has got a flower, a hydrangea, and then some fillers. So each stem has that. So I want to do 3 on this one, I think. Maybe 2. 2 would work. We'll start with 2. So like I said, each piece has got 3 pieces on it. So you got 6 pieces all total. I'm going to cut each one off. We'll put them in separately. We're not putting them in together. We'll cut it off there. Keep that tag. There we go. Alright. So we're going to put in our big flowers first. Now the leaves on here are a little darker than the leaves that we're using, so I probably will not keep the leaves. But I want one flower here. But do I want it to be that, or do I want it to be the hydrangea? I think I'm going to use the hydrangea. I'm going to take the leaves off, and we're going to cut this one down. Let's cut it a little long. Make sure it slides up. See, now we don't need this one to be very long because we don't want it to go through the grapevine. So we're going to look for a way to get this in here without it going all the way through. I know we've already got some glue there. Yeah, we're not going to need it very long at all. So I'm going to cut it short and hope that it's not too long to go through here. I'm going to go right next to, yeah, I don't feel it coming through the other side, so we can glue it right there. Get some glue on that. And we're going to go right down next to our zip tie again. Well, now it doesn't want to go in there. Right there. And we'll leave that there. Get the glue off my hands. There we go. So there is our hydrangea. Cut those in a minute. Alright, so now we could take this and we could either put this down here at the bottom, right here, or we could put it underneath our little drape right there. Let me see how it looks. Is it coming out? I think I like that. So we're going to cut it down. I'm going to bend it so that when I slide it in there, it slides into the grapevine right here, like that. Alright, so let me glue that in real quick. I still don't think I need it that long. Cut a little more off. Put some glue on there. Not too much because you don't want globs of glue. There, right there. Let me get this other zip tie off of here. Alright, so now our loops are gonna go down like that. There. Alright, so we got that one. That one, and I think we're going to put this one down here at the end. I'm going to take off the darker leaves here at the bottom. We're going to cut this down. And this is going to go right down in here like this. Fill this space. Right there. Bend it a little bit. Try to keep it from going all the way through. So we'll get this greenery here lifted and we're going to slide right in here, I think. Maybe. Doesn't want to slide. Nope. Get some more glue. Trying to find the right position for it. There we go. That'll work. So we got those three there. We'll do the same with the three at the top. We could also bring one out here to the side since we don't want it to go too far on top. But I am going to use this one here to balance out that end. So I'm going to cut this off. Bent the wrong way, so let's bend it back this way. Let's find the opening right here. I see it. Get it bent. Going in the right direction. And slide that in there. Keeping it from going through the back. Now we're going to dovetail this one here at the top. You could dovetail it or you could fold it over. This is pretty good seamed together, so I'm not worried about it coming apart. So we're going to go ahead and dovetail. There we go. Make it the same length as our... Now this one I won't dovetail because it's got that lace side on it, so I'm going to cut it at an angle like that. This green we can dovetail. keeping them with the same length as our ribbons. There. And then we have another cross one down here. There we go. All right, let's see what we got. Let's go with our flowers over here again. I'm going to put this one on the outside, I think, and the hydrangea as well. That can come up here underneath our bow. So let me cut this one and see where we want to go with it. Do I want this over here, or do I want the hydrangea over here? I think we're going to put the hydrangea there. It's going to give us better coverage. We cut this down. I'm going to bend it. We're going to lift our ribbons and we're going to go right in here where there's an opening. Alright, let me get that out of the way. And we're going to go right in here, slide that in there. And then our peony will come right up here by our bow, the top of the bow. Let's get this green removed, and we'll put that right in there. So I'm going to bend it. And we're going to go right here. Remove that greenery so we don't glue it all. Whoops. My ribbon decided to go with it right there. There we go. I want to make sure my ribbon's not covering up my sign too much. And there we go. Isn't that beautiful? Loops might be a little too big. I can always make them a little smaller on the next one. But I think it's perfect. Move this one here, there. Let me dovetail these here at the bottom. I'm going to do a staggered dovetail. That way one is a little shorter than the other. I'll cut it down a little more. There we go. All right, I think we're done. What do you think? Isn't that pretty? And any moss, I will go back and cover up any spots where you can see glue on the back. I do see a couple of my green stems. They're not really coming through all the way, but you can see them in the grapevine, and we'll put some moss over that so that it's not showing. So I hope you enjoyed this. Grab you a sign, grab you some greenery and some flowers to match, and make your own. Alright, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I am building up my Pinterest page with all of my tutorials and that too. So if you have Pinterest, go on over there and follow me on Pinterest. Alright guys, have a wonderful day. Stay warm. Be safe. And I will see you soon. Bye-bye.